In business acquisition, your reputation is your currency. And boy, remember that. And one of the fastest ways to build your reputation is to not only do what you said you were going to do, but do it before you said you were going to do it. So under promise and over deliver. Meaning if there's a task that you've said to somebody, I should be able to get you that by next Tuesday, and you know you can get it on Monday, do that. And you'll begin to build the reputation of not only does that person do what they said they're going to do, but guess what? He or she oftentimes is early in that date. Now, that's great for you, and you ought to do that and remember that. But it's also important to think about the people you interact with and use this as a test with them. Board members, the professionals, the financial institutions, the acquisition targets. A lot of times I hear from mentees, they say, well, he didn't get back to me. Did you tell them when you needed it or when you expected it? No, I didn't do that. Well, you expect them to be a mind reader, and guess what? You're going to be disappointed. And if you run an organization like that, you will be badly hurting yourself. If you have something that needs to be done today, tell them, can you get this done today? If the answer is no, what resources would you need to be able to do that? Or move the date if you need to move the date. But use it as a test with people. And I would encourage you to pick 3 people and give them a task, ask when they can get that completed, and then track them and do it on a consistent basis. Start with 3 people as just a test, but everything you do, ask for a date to come back to you, and then track who's doing it when they said they are, who's not doing it. One of the things that in terms of under-promising and over-delivering, when I do particularly the boot camp, the Acquisition Advantage boot camp, which was redone for 2025, I set up a monthly call for those people. They've gotten the course, they've been through the course, there's a Q&A on each section that's recorded, but in addition to that, I do a live Q&A each month. Do I have to do that? No. Is that part of under-promising and over-delivering? Yes. Do people comment, wow, it's a way I can keep in touch with you, ask questions. For the price of the course, I get a lot more value. That's what I'm aiming for in those. But do a test, as I said, and then do a test for yourself. Pick in the next day or 2, 3 things that you are committing to people to do, and take those dates and then see if you beat those dates or if you miss those dates. And guess what? It can be for yourself. Tomorrow I'm going to make 10 calls. Or guess what? I didn't make those 10 calls. Or I'm going to send 10 letters or whatever it is. But test yourself as well. And if you apply that same rule to yourself and you live by it, you set the example that you do this, you underpromise and overdeliver, and people around you will as well. Or you'll find you need to replace them. So I hope that helps. I hope that you take the lesson of underpromise and overdeliver to heart. It's one of the things you can do that will not only add to your personal success, but it will build an organization that's responsive and your outside people. And remember, the same thing works with prospects. If they say they're interested and they're motivated, but you give them an NDA and you ask when will you get it back, and they say, well, give me a week, and it's been a week or 2 weeks or 3 weeks, guess what? They're not motivated, so you're going to move on. And I have had people who have waited months for an NDA, and I say to them that they're not motivated. They're not motivated. That's the easiest part of the process to get an NDA back. So I hope that helps. I hope you apply it to yourself, and I hope that you apply under promise and over deliver to your team and those you interact with as well.